Oh yeah, I'm ready. I've been ready. I've been ready all day.
All right. What's going on, guys? Simon here with Bounce107.com and the Bounce 107 app. And as I promised you earlier tonight, I've got Eric Cartman for real. Brother, how are you doing this evening?
It'd be a lot better if I could just go anywhere without throngs of fans. Literally one of fan.
Hey,
Harassing me all hours.
I am so sorry. I could not help it. This was a big deal. You know, you're from Colorado. I mean, it's a big deal. We got everything going on. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I don't know. Can you see the comments that are going on right now?
No, I cannot.
Oh, dude. People are loving it, guys. Share this right now. This is going to be on bounce107.com, the Bounce 107 app, which is free in the Google Play Store. Go download that as soon as we get done here. Don't leave this because you don't want to miss anything. Also on YouTube.
You definitely don't want to miss anything.
Also on YouTube at BD2 Entertainment. Man, how is it going, my man?
It's going pretty well. I had a drink before I came on, which is obviously just apple juice, which gives me the worst part.
Well, hopefully the mic won't be that good where we don't pick them up, and if we do, fuck it, we're live. So
yeah, we can edit it. It's fine.
We don't edit it. I don't edit anything here on Bounce 107. You should know this by now. So.
Okay, well, thank fucking God, because here I am trying to hold myself back from saying anything. Hold on, I gotta get this out of my system now. I'm gonna be like, fuck, shit, cock ass, titties, bonus, bitch, pussy, Barbara Streisand.
There we go. Gotta get the Barbara Streisand. That's the biggest one. The FCC may come after.
Gotta get Barbara Streisand.
The FCC may come after us for that one. If they do, well, fuck them. Everyone watching,
let them come after. I'm too much of a big deal. I'm too much of a big deal to worry about them.
Awesome. Let me see. I can actually. I can't compete with those glasses, so I'll just go, half-ass blind.
Well, these are my fat shit cosplay idol glasses,
Okay.
especially custom.
And I am so glad you said that. Explain. Now we're gonna get. I got a bunch of questions really quick, and I lost them. Holy shit! Hang tight. Hold on a second.
I'll hang tight.
Fuck! I lost them. I lost my list. Uh-oh. Oh crap. Am I producing?
It's somewhere around there. I believe
No. Oh well. Fuck it. Here we go. Here we go. Here's how it's gonna go. Can you hear me? All right, I can hear you now better. Okay. Had a little technical issues. I have a troll. I swear to you, when I do my streams, I have so much problems when I go live.
I got the same problem with these weird gnomes keep on breaking into my room, stealing all my underwear.
But what's phase 2?
Phase 2? Probably world domination or at least a movie deal.
Hey, I like movie deals. I don't know about you. Here we go. We're going to ask some real quick questions, then we're going to actually get into the meat and potatoes, or the cheesy poofs, if you like, of this whole interview.
6
of one, half done as the other, unless you drink them, and then, fuck it, it's all empty to me. Now, earlier, there we go. I had asked everyone on Facebook and on Twitter, which you can follow me at the Simon C. D2E on Twitter. Drop some questions and everything, and I had an interesting one here, and this is the one that really made it, because it's really, why Cartman?
Why Cartman? All right. Well, let me drop my voice for a second, because this is a personal level thing.
I think you know who this came from too.
Yeah, maybe.
What else?
Yeah, that's my.
Okay.
Yeah. That's actually my mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've got a very supportive family, which they are throwing their hats in the wrong ring. So it started out as like I mean, do you prefer character or what? I mean, I've already dropped it at this point.
We're having fun. We can go back to character here in a few if you want to, man. This is. We're gonna have.
I'll do it for the fat chick cosplay out of section. So I started out, I started out doing cosplays like just 3 or 4 years ago, and I ran into a Deadpool cosplayer. And
did he grab your ass?
I thought, wow, that's really awesome. I want to be a Deadpool. So I came up. I was too. This is it's going around my ass against my elbow, but it's important to the lore. I made up my own. Like I was too fat to be Deadpool in my mind, but I also wanted to be Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. But I have too much hair, and I don't want to shave. No offense to you.
Well, I did this just for you today.
Thanks, Dad.
I got the glare from my light and studio lights on me.
You know what you got to do? Just some lavender oil. Just hit that thing up, make it shine. The same reason. Great.
We wouldn't be able to see anything with that big glare right in the middle of the damn screen.
Yeah, shit. But I started out, I did Bane Pool at a couple of conventions. It was Bane from The Dark Knight Rises and Deadpool, and I was having a lot of fun with it. And then I started realizing that I couldn't be I'm not bragging on myself, but let me humble brag here and say that I'm very clever.
Dude, brag away. Toot your horn.
I consider myself to be. I'm good at improving, and I'm good at I'm at least generally kind of funny. And I found out that I couldn't be as much of an asshole as I wanted as Deadpool, as a Deadpool, because if you're an asshole Deadpool, you're just another asshole Deadpool. It doesn't matter how funny you are. You're just another asshole Deadpool. You're just another dude trying to be D-Pity. And so I was trying to figure out how I could make that work, just me doing stuff. And I've always been really good at doing Eric Cartman's voice. And, sorry, I gotta go.
Oh, you're good. Tell them we're on a live interview, damn it.
Yeah, seriously, fuck off. I don't care about this weird private meme group. Fuck off. And I was I always really liked South Park, and I was pretty good at Cartman's voice. And then my funny story, actually, and I actually have it right here. My mom went to a yard sale. This was back when I was like 17, 18. She went to a yard sale and got this jacket.
Oh wow!
And yeah, it's this fancy quadruple extra large woman's winter coat. And she was going to give it to my sister, and I said, "Wait, that's a big red coat. Give me that coat." And the next day, I ordered the hat off of Amazon, and I went to Richmond Wizard World as Eric Cartman.
Oh wow!
And
now was that your first? Was that your first convention in cosplay?
No.
I mean, as Cartman, I should say. As Cartman, I should say.
Yes. It was Richmond Wizard World 20. It had to have been 2015 because they didn't have one last year. Yeah, it was 2015.
And hold on just one second, guys. I see your I see everyone writing in the chat. Cody is Poindexter saying, "Hey, what's up?" And guys, I thank you guys for watching. If I don't respond, if you see me give you thumbs up, I'm acknowledging it. I will. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. We will get to them. I will. I promise you. So I am not ignoring you. Are we going to break kayfabe and call you by your real name right now for this? At this second? Okay. I mean, Eric Cartman, Arthur, he cannot see what you guys are typing, so I'm having to relay to him. So please,
Quit being stupid for just a second.
Well, no. They're not being stupid. I mean, a lot of people are saying, hey, they're giving you.
I don't know who's in that chat, but you said Cody, and I'm going to come after him because he has a head shaped like a peanut. I'm going to come after him.
Tell him Peanut said hi, and he's actually bragging about how well you are entertaining people and adults alike as Eric Cartman, and very comical and very good. So I mean. These people are commenting nice things, but if I can't get to you guys right off the bat and say something, this is why. So I do apologize.
All right, Cody, just for that, I take back 10% of the things I ever said about you.
And Sean said he loves you.
Hi, Sean. You're also.
Now, what was your? You said you did the Wizard. Was it WizardCon? Is that correct?
Yeah. Richmond Wizard.
Richmond Wizard World. Okay. And I take it that was in Richmond, Virginia, where.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm based out of.
Okay, well, I'm based out of Tennessee, so yay, over the hills and through the woods, to the meth house, man, they go.
No, actually, I'm originally from Franklin County. We had a movie made about us. It starred Shia LaBeouf, and it was the wettest county in the world, which was ironic because
Shia LaBeouf there.
Nobody ever gets laid in Franklin
County. Damn. Well, there you go. Whoop, there it is. Here we go.
Whoop, there it is.
And Ciniac, I do see you, brother. Hey, when you guys get done, when we get done here, head over to bounce107.com. And Ciniac, you are opening my show tonight. That's going to be pre-recorded, but it's airing tonight at midnight on bounce107.com. You're opening the show, brother. So representing East Tennessee over here. I have. What made you? Was it just when you said you saw Deadpool, wanted to be Bane? Is that what kind of made you want to start cosplay?
No, the thing that made me want to start cosplaying is I've always been really interested in like my parents are nerds. I come by it honest.
You say nerd like it's a bad thing. What the hell? You see what I am wearing?
No, I don't say no. Man, I'm wearing a shirt promoting a convention just casually. Man, fuck off. Like, I love this. No, I've always been really interested in nerd culture, and my parents are nerds. Like, their favorite Star Trek movie is Star Trek V, the one where they slingshot around the sun and go back in time. They can quote that movie forwards and backwards. Like, wow. I've watched them. Like, they don't watch the movie. They'll sit at our kitchen table and just look into each other's eyes and be like, "Hello, computer." And just like,
you need to get this on video.
Yeah, good luck with that. But no, like I come by it honest. Like my parents are nerds, and I was always taught to like express myself and like don't worry about what other people have to say about you or think about you. So I really wanted to like go to a convention. And if I was going to go to a convention, I was going to dress up. And actually, the first cosplay I ever did was actually a really, really shitty version of a Z fighter from Dragon Ball Z.
Shame on you.
And what? Shame on me for what?
The shitty version.
No, it was. Oh god, it was fucking. No, it was. All right, this costume was made out of couch vinyl, scrubs, and iron-on patches. But
okay.
Yeah, it was a shitty costume.
But you did it though. But you actually went out and you took the time to do it.
Yeah, and it was fun. But then I was like, you know what? I could be a Deadpool. I could be funny. I could do stuff like this, and it'd be great. And then I realized all Deadpools are assholes, even if you're not an asshole Deadpool. And then now I can be Cartman, and I can be an asshole directly to somebody's face, and they laugh and thank me for it. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. Leave me alone. I hate you. And they're like, oh, you're so cute. You're so clever. And I'm like, yeah, fuck off, die.
See, that's what happens when you pick the smart-ass character. You can just be serious, and they don't take you seriously.
No, one of my favorite little things is like some people don't realize that I'm in character when I do stuff. Like I'm friends. One of my good friends, the way that I met her was she made some offhanded comment about, just some offhanded fat joke. And yeah, I was, like, I don't really care about fat jokes, but I was in character, and the character cares about fat jokes. So she was cosplaying as Yoko Littner from Gurren Lagann, and she's a wonderful girl, but she is not exactly the most endowed person on the planet, if you know what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
So I told her to her face immediately. She said, haha, something about red jacket and fat and big jacket. And I said, yeah, well, your tits are too small to be cosplaying as Yoko. Like, and oh shit, like it was just that quick. And I really like to this day I feel bad about it.
No, you don't.
And like, no, I do feel bad about that. I feel like it's just like we but that's how we met. Now we're really good friends and stuff like it was once we got over the initial awkwardness of holy shit, you just like completely destroyed my entire day in a sentence. We're friends now.
Hey.
It's good.
Sometimes insults lead to great friendships.
No.
Now, have you
it's good.
Have you gone to conventions prior to doing them in cosplay?
Actually, no. The first convention I ever went to, I was cosplaying at.
Wow.
And I've cosplayed it. There's actually been, let's see, hold on. the first time that I cosplayed well, I mean, I like even when I went to my first convention, I was still wearing props. You know, I like when I all right, so the first thing that I wore to the first convention that I went to was I had this shirt. It was just this black shirt that said security on it. I bought it from a thrift store. And I wore my Dragon Ball Z Scouter, my Legacy Dragon Dagger, and my green white Legacy Morpher with the dragon coin in it,
Wow.
obviously. And I was just walking around like that, dressed up like I was con security, but I was, you know, dressed all in like Green Ranger
And I
stuff.
guarantee you, half the
So
people
even
there
then,
probably thought you were security.
yeah, like I'm wearing the wrong shirt for it, but I am a beefcake.
Yeah, there we go. I can't do Cartman. Fuck it.
Beefcake. I can't do it either. My voice is fucked up right now.
Too much drinking. Now, I've seen some of the posts. If you guys haven't followed him on Facebook, you need to. You post some great pictures, and some of them, I think, one of them that you said you've done. Oh God, I'm trying to remember the quote because I know you and Rob are getting ready to go to a convention to do a Dragon Con, and you had made the comment that you have successfully only worn cosplay that you can feel comfortable passing out in drunk. Is that right? Am I?
Yeah, yeah. I've had every costume. Well, I mean, all right. So I started going to cons when I was 19, and I wore uncomfortable costumes when I couldn't drink. And then when I turned 21, I realized, oh my God, you can drink at cons. And since then, I've just been dressing comfortably and like actually, I'll pimp myself a little bit. Catch me at MagFest, and if I'm dressed like a wizard, guaranteed I have at least a gallon of liquor on my body
at all times.
Well, not at all times. Late at night, I walked around dressed like I'm dressed like Wizard King Cartman, and I have a bag of holding that I bought. Like it's an actual bag that says bag of holding, and inside of that fit two 2-quart containers, like juice containers that I mix with liquor. And anybody that gives me a compliment, I'll give you a shot.
See, there you go, guys. If you find him, you may get drunk from him. You never know. Yeah. You gotta check IDs though nowadays.
I was like, well, the first question I ask is they go, "Hey man, I love your costume," and I go, "Thanks. Are you drinking?" And if they say yes, I'll assume they're overage.
And Vincent can confirm that you're the amounts of liquor that you can carry. He is confirming this for us. Thank you.
Yes, Vincent knows all too well.
Okay, now we got a couple more just little random things as we get going here, and I am scatterbrained, ADD. So
that's fine. Man, you're lucky you're keeping me on the couch this long.
Yay! With no alcohol.
With no alcohol. No, the alcohol was earlier.
Hell yeah! What's your drink of choice?
No, I actually had. All right. Well, I like to drink a wonderful substance that I call floor juice.
Floor juice.
Floor juice. Yeah. You see, it's this wonderful tonic that I discovered. In the year of our Lord, 1888, Sir Florence Juicington invented a device that was half plunger, half straw, half air-to-liquid compression device. And this is all a lie. Because it's all a big, stupid meme.
But it sounds so interesting. I am so intrigued.
So, all right. So this story involves a friend of mine, Bobby, who's also a friend of Vincent, who's in the chat. He told me his family always keeps cranberry pomegranate juice on hand because it mixes with any liquor. And I personally enjoy Jim Beam apple. And I decided, and I found that Jim Beam apple mixes with everything. Like I put Mountain Dew in it one time, and it's just great. So I decided to mix together these two things that mix together really well, and it became the most smoothest drink that I've ever had.
Now say those two liquors again. I'm taking notes.
It's Jim Beam apple and cranberry pomegranate juice.
I'm actually taking notes on this.
Really... That's sad. That's how you know this world has devolved into just nothing but alcoholics and memers. But it started out. We had this drink at MagFest. We had it at, I believe, the next con we had. No, was it Katsu that was the next one? I forget. we had it at a couple of conventions back to back, and I actually guested at a convention in Roanoke called Star City Anime, and I'm good friends with the people that run the convention, so they let me run the dance party.
Oh no!
And I had a friend of mine go out and get me a mixer for my liquor, which go out and get cranberry pomegranate juice, and I forgot to drink it because I was drinking myself, and I found it the next day. It was still in the dance party room, and Vincent actually. So Vincent was actually there, and he was complaining of a headache and stuff like that because we'd all been drinking. So I told him to drink this.
Oh no!
And he said, "What is it?" And I said, "It's floor juice." "What's in floor juice?" "I don't know. I found it in the floor." And then I just started chugging.
There we go. Now we know how floor juice can.
It just through a combination of this, like, it was hangover and fatigue. This became, for like 3.5 hours, this became the most hilarious thing in the entire world. And we've kept it going since February.
Wow.
We've had it at every social gathering that we have. We have floor
Hell
juice.
yeah. Now, how many conventions actually have you been to? Yeah, in cosplay and not. I mean, are you always going in cosplay if you go somewhere?
Yes. Actually, yeah. The only convention that I have attended that I have not cosplayed at was Star City Games Con earlier this year, which is just a Magic the Gathering convention.
And where were they located at, if you don't mind me asking?
Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay, so you do a lot of stuff in the Roanoke area.
Yeah, I do a lot. I actually live in Roanoke, and I go to all the local conventions that I can, and if they happen to coincide with a bigger con that I'm going to, I don't really worry about it. There's actually, let me see. I was thinking back to the previous. I got scatterbrained.
Welcome to.
It's actually the only con that I haven't cosplayed at. The only convention that I haven't cosplayed at was Star City Games Con, and that was just because, like, Cartman doesn't really make sense there, and I mean, like, he doesn't really make sense at an anime convention either, and yet, there I am. But it's actually not conventions, it's specific days that I don't cosplay. Like, I was at a convention last year in Charlottesville, Virginia, called OmegaCon, and I actually had a blackout for the first time while I was drinking at that con.
Oh wow!
And I did not cosplay the next day because I was still vigorously hungover.
Oof.
Yeah, and then that was. There's only been 1 or 2 times that I haven't cosplayed at a convention, and that's just one day.
Wow. Now, when you go to these conventions, do people do they recognize you as Eric Cartman for real, or, I mean, do they recognize you as Eric Cartman, a cosplayer? I mean, do people follow you and know, hey, I've seen you here, man, hey, how you doing, this, that, and the other?
Yeah, all right, let me break it down. I was at a convention. I won't say the name of the convention just to, like, protect the privacy of the people involved.
Oh boy, this ought to be good.
So, all right. So I went to a convention in this was sometime early last year, and I went to this convention. I was really sick, and I heard in this convention that there was a very exclusive party going on, and I decided, fuck it, I'll try to see if I can get in, because I knew some people that were getting in. Maybe they can get me in. I go to the door. The host of the party lets me in. And I go in, and it's 3 rooms. They have 3 rooms rented out that they're sleeping in. And the first room that you walk into, full bar, free bar, floor to ceiling, top shelf liquor.
Wow.
Then the room on the right, as you walk in, people are going in there and coming back out, and their pupils are dilated. They're bumping into shit. They're rubbing their nipples and rolling their eyes back in their head. Like, there's some shit going on in that room.
Oh wow, some New Jack shit.
And the room on the left is the door is closed, and there's this real stern looking man guarding it. Well, I hang around for a little bit, and I take a couple of drinks, and probably against the ideas of my medication, but I was trying to party, and the guard for the room, actually comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, I don't know if you remember me, but you were at Richmond Wizard World, and you took a picture with me and my kid, and I just want to let you know that I think that you're really cool, and I think you're so cool that I'm gonna get you in this room." And I was like, "All right, what's in that room?" And he just looked at me and did this smug little smile and was like, "Shibari." If you don't know what shibari is, it's Japanese rope bondage. The room is a sex dungeon.
Oh my god.
So I go, "All right, cool, let's go." And I go into this room, and I'm drunk, and I'm sick, and my medication is like I took like 2 Dayquil pills, and they were fading quickly because the alcohol, I guess. But I was leaning against the wall, and I was watching, and it's just like there was nothing gratuitous going on in this room yet, because they kept on opening the door to like check and see if everything was okay, and I guess the dungeon master woman she's like, "Every time that door opened, my clothes stay on for 5 more minutes," and like it was stuff like that. But this woman walks up to me, and like she's saying hi to everybody that's standing against the wall, because there's 3 or 4 of us, and she gets down to me and she says, "Hey, hi, you were Cartman earlier, weren't you?" "Yeah."
Well, this is gonna be our last show. Thank you, guys. I can see where this is going.
And she said, "You almost got me a spanking." And I said, "Oh? How? I'm not supposed to be looking at others while I'm underneath Mistress's command." And I just looked at her and said, "Well, you're the exception to the rule that I can't get laid while I'm just like a 10-year-old boy." She said, "You're cute." And I said, "Yeah, and I'm leaving." And yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's my favorite story of somebody recognizing me. That, and there's also like a smaller story, still not as funny, but still emotionally significant. The first con that I ever guested at, the man that runs the con, Jack Burbett, he whenever we see each other at a con, we just give each other finger guns and go, "You're awesome," and that's what we do. And it's there's
the subtle thing. It's the subtle things that people remember you with, and the extreme things apparently.
Yeah.
What is I would call that your favorite convention memory?
Oh no, that's far from my favorite convention memory.
Let's not go too extreme on this one. I don't want to get thrown off the air. Facebook's kind of weird about it.
I don't. No, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah.
What I mean, out of all the conventions that you've done, has there been a specific one that stands out in your brain that you were just like, "Fuck, I ain't going back there again"?
Yeah, there is, and if a friend of mine is watching this, he's cackling right now. Do I have? There is one, but do I have to name it?
If you don't want to name this particular convention, you don't have to.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to name it because like it was just personal stuff that kept it from being a good con.
Okay.
It was just like So like I work for a company called Spectrum Entertainment. Like it's how I get so many guest stuff. Like my boss saw me at a convention and hired me, and we go to conventions. And we went to a convention up north a bit that we had to drive 11 hours in one day for this little rinky-dink one-day con. And one of the other people that I work with, one of my best friends actually, he's a martial artist of like the highest caliber, like 3 black belts and 2 national weapon titles. Like you don't mess with him.
He's your security.
They brought him up. No, I'm his security. Like I'm his mini boss. Excuse me. They brought him up there to do a weapons show because he's very proficient in multiple weapons. And there was a LARP group at this particular convention that they were complaining that the martial artist had real weapons and they weren't allowed to bring in their real weapons. So they talked to campus security and got campus security to tell one of the women that was running the con, that he can't bring those weapons back out, even though he was handling them professionally and performing to music. They brought us all the way up there.
They castrated you basically when you got there.
Yeah, like they wouldn't this was supposed to be a family-friendly con, so like they invited me so I could do one of my panels, and my panel is not family-friendly. And they wouldn't let me do my panel. They wouldn't let my friend do his they wouldn't let him do his weapons, and it was a huge disappointment to drive 5 hours up there and 6 hours back for just to basically sit there all day in a hot jacket.
I've had a few of those wrestling events. You drive 5-6 hours one way and end up just sitting on your ass because it's like, oh well, we ain't got a spot now. It's like, what the fuck? So I understand that exactly, but
it was just, and this was like a convention where they were lauding us, you know, they were like putting us out there as like part of like the hey, come to this con, you'll see these people, and then we can't even do anything.
Well, from what you're telling me from your side of it, it's really wasn't the promoter's fault. It was the butthurt individuals that
the LARP group.
Yeah.
But I mean, the LARP. There was.
And I do have a question came in. A question just came in that needs to be asked. Did they at least compensate you for this?
They gave us free admission and advertising.
The fuck.
Yeah. Like, they didn't even pay for our gas. And then when we got there, we had 7 people with us. Because we had 2 people to sit at the table, 3 performers, and our photographer. I believe that's 7 people, because I can't math.
Something like that.
But,
Common Core's got me fucked up.
But we yeah, no shit. We had 7 people with us, and they were like, oh, okay, hi, you're the Spectrum group, right? Yeah, how many tickets do you need? 7. 7? Yeah, 7. It took me 2 tanks of gas to get up here. Like, 7 tickets into your $5 convention is not a big deal.
Wow.
You know, compared to the $120 in gas it's going to take.
Yeah. Wow.
My favorite part about that trip was the Waffle House in Roanoke on the way back.
Gotta love Waffle House. That actually was going to bring me to my next question. Are you a Waffle House or a Sheetz kind of guy?
Porque no las dos.
English, homie, English.
Why not both?
Okay.
Never both at once, but like it depends on what mood I'm in. If I want to sit down and chill in a restaurant, I'll go to Waffle House anytime. But if I'm hungry now and I want to go home and drink, I'm going to go to Sheetz and I'm going to spend $10 on a huge quesarito and I'm going to eat it and then pass out.
There we go. There's the answer on that one.
Yeah.
I'm looking at. I found some of my questions, by the way. It was actually on the notepad that I was taking notes from your drinking binge earlier. I looked up and said, "Crap, there's notes on here." Now, the shirt that you're wearing, Conapalooza, it's October 12th through the 14th. You were there last year.
October 12th through 14th.
Yes, you were.
I was there last year.
That was the inception year, and
it was the.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to make it on our end because we were booked elsewhere, and it was making money. And I was like, I wanted to go, and I thought we had the dates, but this year I'm going to be here because if you guys hadn't heard about the Conapalooza thing, I won. So we did a commercial for them, and they're playing it at these other events right now to help promote Conapalooza. It's basically 3. Yeah. I mean, you were there last year. It's 3 days. These guys are starting Friday at what, 3 o'clock last year is what they stay open. The doors like 3-ish. 3.
Yeah, I think so. I believe that's right.
And they run literally all day, all night. Like there is no.
Yeah, But I argue, mark my words right here. If Conapalooza continues on the route, like for a first year convention last year, it was huge and it was really well run because Rob has been to Dragon Con since like 15 Dragon Cons or something like that. He knows how large conventions should be run, and he uses all that knowledge. It was friendly, it was great, and like if this con continues to grow, if this con continues to be as good as it was last year and grow, it's going to be the Magfest of the South.
Hell yeah! And they actually had to move because last year they were in Bristol. Yeah. This year they're going to be at the Kingsport Meadowview Convention Center in Kingsport, Tennessee. And fans, if you're watching this, I implore you, go to Conapalooza.com, look at them on Facebook, get your passes, man. They have a weekend pass, and for the price that you're getting, it is literally 24 hours. I know we got, let's see. They got the Rocky Horror Picture Show live. They have the Timey-Wimey, oh, God. It's I'm a Doctor Who fanatic, and I can't freaking remember this.
Yeah. Wibbly Wobbly Timey-Wimey.
Thank you. It is like all the props and stuff that they use through Doctor Who. It is now that one is an extra $3. I will go ahead and get that out there. But all these statues, props, and stuff from the Doctor Who series, if you're a Whovian at all, that was the one thing that really sold. I mean, everything sold me on, but that was like, okay, that's what I wanted to go see last year. Didn't get to go. They're also this year trying to. Now, this is a shout out to all of you cosplayers. The Ghostbusters, they are trying to break the Guinness Book of World Records for the most Ghostbusters in cosplay. Go to Conapalooza on Facebook and look this up. There are specific details that you must follow for your cosplay to count into this Guinness Book of World Records attempt. There's specific things that you have to have. They have to be this is some serious things. My buddy Carlos Hill, who is actually just tuned in, I see him right now. He is actually running a lot of the tabletop D&D games that they have going on this weekend. There's so much going on. Two Dudes Gaming out of Elizabethton has 24-hour gaming. Like, literally, they have TVs and everything just set up. So if you actually are able to get a room out in Kingsport at the Meadowview Convention Center, which you could still book through Conapalooza and get some great rates right now, I think they just opened up
Get them.
Yeah, I think they opened up just a bunch more rooms just for this convention for us. They are literally, it's set up all night. So if you're at 3 in the morning and you see Arthur and y'all are drunk, go kick his ass in Smash Brothers if you can. I mean, it's going to be there.
Yeah, good luck. I'm in Captain Falcon.
And also, I know one thing that I know you're going to be prepared for. That is the lip sync battle. You are defending your title this year.
Actually, you know what? Hold on a second, because I am defending this title. I'm defending it.
There we go, right there.
I'm not defending it. I'm going to go full wrestler right now, and I'm not defending it. I'm fucking keeping it. But the only thing that I'm scared of right now, actually, I'm going to sit right here with this across my chest like this. The only thing that I'm scared of right now is, since Musical.ly got shut down, what are all those weird little lip-syncing 13-year-old girls going to do? They might show up at Conapalooza, and that's the only person that I'm scared of.
A 10-year-old boy is scared of a 13-year-old girl. Go figure.
Yeah.
And it's actually covering your mic up. Oh, you're good. No, you're good. It was covering your mic up.
I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to ruin your interview.
No, I just want to make sure everyone can hear what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
Are you hosting anything during that week? Because I know they've got all sorts of panels. They've got. Oh my God! They have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's their 25th anniversary. They have. Walter. Oh God, Walter Jones, Austin St. John, and. Oh, I cannot remember the girl's name now.
Catherine.
Thank you. But they are going to be there. Last year they had my brain. Oh my God.
David Yost.
Thank you.
And Karen Ashley.
Thank you. Like, I was just watching the actual YouTube video of this, which is on YouTube, from last year's convention, their Q&A that they did, and they apparently, from what I heard, had a phenomenal turnout. And from what I'm hearing, that was the first time they ever had a PAL sweet tea. So they were kind of enjoying themselves. And I think that's what a lot of people need to understand is that when these people are coming in, these guests, a lot of them are having a blast while they're there.
Yeah.
They're having just as much fun as we are, and they're getting paid to do this shit.
Yeah. It's my dream.
Get paid to do it.
You just get paid to go to conventions, have fun, man.
And I know that
imagine that.
I know they had the pillow fight thing on, hosted by a buddy of ours, Josh TKO Turner from The Walking Dead and Under the Dome, he's a great actor, great professional wrestler as well. I've traveled with him a couple different times. We actually went to a movie set in Georgia to film Term Life about a year or two ago, a couple years back, and that was a fucking blast. But he's going to be there with the pillow fight thing going on that Rob came up with out of I don't know what. Yeah. Did he drink your floor juice before he came up with this idea?
No, because the last time that I saw Rob was at Yamacon, and I hadn't invented floor juice at that point. So this is all him.
But I mean, there is everything that you can possibly think of. There's events. They're actually having like cosplay demos. If am I correct on that? I mean, the reason I'm asking you is because you were kind of on the panel a little bit with Rob. You kind of are a official member of Conapalooza.
Yeah. I'm an unofficial member. I mean, they've only announced me as a perpetual guest for as long as the convention's around. I mean, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Basically, you're on the payroll now.
Yeah. God, I can only hope. Wait, you're getting paid? Who's getting paid?
I thought you were. My check came in 2 weeks ago for this. It may have bounced by now, but yeah, go call Rob. No, I mean, but there's literally anything and everything you could think of. There's a lot of kids-friendly activities going on throughout the day.
And not so kid-friendly activities.
After 9 o'clock. I had to emphasize that. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff
after 9 o'clock.
Like, there's all sorts of stuff that's going on with this that it's anybody and everybody. They're going to have, like I said, the cosplay demos where you can learn how to do this kind of stuff. D&D, they have all sorts of tabletop games going on throughout the week. I mean, throughout the weekend. Hell, this is probably going to end up being a week event if it's not careful. the way it's growing.
It's going to be Dragon Con of the North, MagFest of the South, the perfect happy medium.
There we go. All I can say is just go to Conapalooza on Facebook. Check these guys out. They have all sorts of just all sorts of shit going on, man. I mean, yeah. Thank you, Carlos. On October 12th, Carlos is running from 4 to 8. The Mind's Eye, a D&D 5e adventure by the Old Guard Adventures, and there's a bunch more, and I can't open it right now, but that's just one of the events that he's running. So I'm probably going to check that out too.
You should definitely check out the stuff that I'm running through.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what are you going to be doing out there? I know you're hosting some stuff too.
Yeah, I have. Apparently, apparently, I'm going to be part of the opening ceremonies, which I'm kind of terrified because I saw how last year's opening ceremonies was games and stuff, and like I'm terrified, excited, like a roller coaster, kind of excited for that. But me personally is I actually do a panel, which is more of it's an improv show that I do that's called Anime versus Weeb Trash.
Okay.
And yeah, it's at 1 a.m. in the Boone Room.
And
actually Friday night and Saturday night. It's in one of the main panel rooms.
Okay.
At 1 a.m. And it's a blast. Like I've done this probably at every Black Materia convention I've been to. I've done it. So I run at least one every weekend, and it's this evolving show. It's like a stage show, you know. And I've come to really enjoy doing it. And there's people that enjoy watching me do it, and I'm really excited to do it at Conapalooza again because it's a brand new audience that's not quite in on the joke yet.
There you go. Yeah, you said those are both Friday and Saturday night.
It's Friday night, Friday. It's technically Saturday morning and Sunday morning at 1 a.m. in the Boone Room,
Okay.
and it's gonna be wild. I'm actually considering not even doing my character stuff for it. Like it's just gonna be straight up me, just like doing all this stuff, Japanese revenge conspiracy. And
Oh
all
God.
That.
That'll be something I may have to try to check out for that.
I'm not telling. Yeah, you definitely should. And I'm not explaining any of that. I'm not providing context to what I mean by Japanese revenge conspiracy. You're going to have to come and figure it out yourself.
Bullshit. You'll tell me when we get off the air.
You're right. I mean, you're right. I might. Or I might keep you in suspense to promise you'll show up.
Dude, I got weekend passes. I'm going to be there. I mean, I don't know what time. I mean,
I got weekend passes.
You work for it, dude.
Everybody has weekend passes.
You work for them.
Yeah, you're right. That's fair.
I had to bust my ass to get these. How can people like bookings for conventions if they want you to come out? Is there a way they can reach out to you for this?
Well, you can hit me up on it. You can hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Star City Cartman on Instagram, and then you can find my Facebook page, Eric Cartman for real. But if you want me at conventions, hit up a convention and ask them to look into me. Like if you want me there and it's within my budget and reasoning to get there, or even better, if they'll offer me to come, I'll definitely do it. Like there's not convention one that except for that one convention that I won't go to
unless it's prepaid up front, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I suppose. We're not playing that game.
I mean, they may be watching. They may want you back. Hey, send in the check first, then he'll show.
Yeah.
And he'll bring the real weapons too.
I'll bring the. Yeah, we actually on the way back from that particular convention, we said the only way we're coming back to this con is if they get us a hotel room. Like we don't want anything else. Just you get us a hotel room so we don't have to drive 11 hours in one day.
Dude, trust me, I know exactly how that is. We had some wrestling events on the East Coast of North Carolina that was literally like 6.5 hours one way. You get there, and wrestling events, I don't know if you've ever been to wrestling events, independent wrestling events, they can go anywhere from 2 hours to 7 hours. It just depends.
Oh.
We were there 3 or 4 hours, and then turn around and have to drive, 6.5 back. It's pretty shitty. But it's what we did. I mean, I love doing it. I mean, that's kind of like why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I'm loving every bit of this. Yeah. I mean, I could tell by us talking previously off air, you love what you do.
Oh my God, yes, I do.
Is there any other characters? Is there any other characters that you have contemplated doing, or have kind of like a little? Let's kind of throw this out there, see if that works.
I really all right, so the only costume of recent memory that I've done that hasn't been that I'm really good at different voices, and what I've always said, especially after after Cartman became so popular, is I only want to do costumes that I can also do the voice for. So I really, really want to do Hedonism Bot from Futurama.
Okay.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I say, he's more of a minor character. He's that gold robot in the lounge chair that just leans back. He's got the grapes and that whole Roman aesthetic.
Okay.
And he's the one that leans back and he's like, Jumbie, the chocolate icing. Just rub it all over my belly. I love it.
It's awesome.
Like but that voice is like, again, tooting my own horn. That voice is pretty damn good, and I want to do it and have it emanating from the costume itself. Like I want to be in the middle of somewhere and call out to one of my friends and tell them to bring me the chocolate icing, and like if you need me, I'll be upstairs putting batteries in things.
Oh wow, that's just. I mean, I'm entertained just with this, man. You just don't understand. I'm having so much fun with this, and I'm so scatterbrained. You guys listed on Bounce 107 is going to be sitting there going, what the hell is going on? But I'll tell you this, if you're listening to this on Bounce 107 and Bounce 107 app, you got to go over here to the YouTube and see what we're talking about. Actually physically see this. The audio is not going to do this justice, and I'm sorry for that.
No, you gotta see this fat shit sitting on his couch, just like in improper lighting, in a Cartman hat, and pimping out one of his favorite cons. Just
Improper.
Howdy ho, neighbor. I'm not even wearing real pants. I'm just wearing fucking sweatpants.
Hey, those are real pants, damn it.
They are real pants.
I wear them every once in a while when I'm lazy. No, you said the fat shit. I gotta say this.
Oh, the fat.
The hashtag fat shit cosplay. You knew we were gonna touch this subject.
No, hashtag fat shit cosplay idol.
Cosplay idol. My apologies. For those of you that don't know, yes, we need character for this.
We need character for this. All right, hold on. This is how we like. You're gonna see like how I get back into the character. So we go like, you're a fucking asshole. All right,
there we go. Explain the fat shit cosplay idol for those who don't know who the hell moo whatever racist bitch.
Her name is Bill Cosplay.
I mean, I don't want to glorify this person.
All right.
Because...
All right. So this person, long story short, from what I understand, if I'm paraphrasing, you'll have to give me a second. This, from what I understand, this woman named Maria Malad, whatever, became very popular because she was a thick cosplayer, and she got really popular because she was fat and dressing up in skimpy outfits and giving body positive cosplay movement. And I'm absolutely one for body positive cosplay. However, she then got a bunch of liposuction and then lied about it and kept on telling people that she just worked out and lost a bunch of weight, and it was bullshit. It's all bullshit. Then a whole bunch of other stuff, like she got banned from Twitter for telling a guy to kill himself. It was revealed that she's like horribly racist.
Wow.
And she sexually assaulted another cosplayer and then tried to blame it on having ADD. And she's just... It started out as a joke for myself, and then I realized she was a fat shit cosplay idol. An idol for fat shit cosplayers, such as myself. And now that she's gone, someone needs to fill that enormous...
void?
Like bulbous, misshapen void, yes. Someone needs to fill this.
Now, what was it?
And that person... What is what?
I was going to say, is it you?
You're goddamn right.
No, what I was going to say was, did she hang... Was it lipo, or did she hang out with Tally going, wanna get high?
Wanna get high? Oh, you wanna... I just gotta... Who cares how many cans of computer dust I host? Oh.
Oh, God, this is so much fun. I love my job. Like I said, if you guys are listening on the bounce107.com, Bounce 107 app, unfortunately, the audio is not doing this justice. I apologize, man. You have to see this. Just the shades themselves are pimp. I want a pair of those.
Well, good luck.
I'll get you drunk.
Actually, let me let you in on a secret, though. These glasses are I got these. Crap. Vincent knows what con it was. I believe it was NecoCon. That's what it was. We were going to NecoCon in Hampton, Virginia, of November of last year, and me and Vincent stopped at a Goodwill in Waynesboro, Virginia, and they had glasses, like hundreds of pairs of these. But what they are is they had tassels. You can see these holes right here. They had tassels, and across the nose of the glasses was the word grad. These are graduate hats. So we we took off the tassels and scraped off whatever of the stuff we could, the
Yeah.
word grad, and then painted back over the scrapes. And I've got these big glasses that make Elton John cream his pants.
Yes, he would. He would be very jealous of those.
Turn him into a rocket man, as it
There
were.
you go. In more than one way. Wow. At a damn Goodwill. Hell, I got my damn suit that I wear to events at a fucking Goodwill. I can't say nothing. Hey, $5 for a suit? I'll take it.
Yeah, oh shit.
I mean, what is there? I got a couple more things I want to ask. First,
Go ahead,
this
man.
is the biggest question I've asked. I ask everybody. It has almost started a feud in the household. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No, but that's because I don't like pineapple in general.
Okay.
Let me tell you another story. It's not just because I'm a picky eater. It's because I fucking hate pineapple, and it's not like texture, flavor. I had a friend of mine who recently, him and his wife had a child, and they were, hard up for money. So what they did before they left the hospital was they took a whole bunch of those little hospital juice boxes, and they had like 10, 12, 15 of them, all individual flavors. He was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna go get some juice. You want some juice?" And I said, "Yeah. What do you want?" And I said, "Bring me down some grape." He brought me down 2 grape juices and a pineapple juice. Unfortunately, we were drinking in the dark, and I did not realize that I had opened up a pineapple juice and just straight up chugged it. And I was like, I immediately dry heaved and then wet heaved. Like just a little bit of like. He said, "What's wrong, man?" I said, "I think this grape juice has gone bad." and he's like, well, let me see it. This isn't grape juice, it's pineapple juice. And I goes, that would explain it.
So from that point forward, you've hated pineapples?
No. See, I've always hated pineapple. That was a story to prove it's not just like, I don't like pineapple because of texture or like just because I'm a picky eater. I just can't stand the fucking flavor. So pineapple does not belong on pizza because pineapple should not exist. In fact, I'm calling for it right now. Genocide against pineapples. # pineapple genocide. Also, great name for a death metal band based in Hawaii.
I swear to God, you're going to see it on Spotify next week.
You're going to see it on pineapple genocide.
Dude, I have an idea for you.
No?
Create a heavy metal cosplay band.
Hey, you know what? I'm already ahead of you on that.
Oh, really?
Well, it's been an idea that me and a couple of my friends have kicked around for a couple of years, but we have an idea for a band, and that band is called Speed Limit Enforced by Aircraft.
Okay.
So, all right, so like you don't live in Virginia, so you might not know, but like I know Virginia 81 or I-81 has a lot of them, and there's a system where they'll actually like they'll track your car with an airplane, and if you're going too fast, they'll send you a ticket in the mail, or they'll send a police officer after you or something like that. I don't know how the system works because Virginia got as far as painting the lines on the road and putting up the signs, and then just never finished it off. So there's all these signs along I-81 that say speed limit enforced by aircraft. And to me, that sounds just like this, like, you're just driving down the road, driving down I-81 in this bitchin'-ass Corvette doing 120, and all of a sudden behind you, you hear a siren and turn around and there's an A-10 Warthog just right up your ass.
Pull over!
Like, no, you don't get to pull over. It's going to shoot those Red Bull-sized cans right through your windshield.
Oh, man, that reminds me. There's somebody watching here. Should I tell the story about the I-81 incident? If they respond, there's an I-81 incident. We were going to West Virginia, doing 90 through Virginia or into West Virginia. How it kind of cuts into it. It's all 81.
Yeah.
There was an incident where I'm in the passenger seat. My wife's driving. Melly Madrox Heather, she's watching right now. we had a referee. We called him Willie Nelson. That's who he looked like. I saw him and said, "You remind me of Willie Nelson. That's your name. I don't want to know what the fuck your name is." In the other car, my buddy Jamie, his wife, another wrestler, and his girlfriend at the time. Well, we're just flying up and down the interstate, and I'm not going to lie, I was smoking the whole day. I got dared to moon them doing 90 miles an hour. So all you see is a little Pontiac just flying up next to him and my big bulbous ass just hanging out the window. Jamie almost swerves. Yes, she said that was a great trip. I'll tell the Badger story in a second on that one, too. I know I'm getting scatterbrained, too, but you're telling a funny story. Jamie almost swerves off the road because he's freaking the hell because all he sees is my big ass. And Melissa, who was in the backseat, she has her camera phone out just like taking pictures. I'm like, what the fuck? And that's when we also hit a dead Badger where we thought it was dead, but somebody had hit it and it was still alive, and our car rode low and just put it out of its misery, and you see it spinning around. And yeah, it was a fun trip.
Can we get a rip in the chat, please, for Badger Boy?
And Ryan Chavez, the actual owner, my actual production manager for Bounce 107's in the chat. He asked, he says, is he tripping or do they look similar?
I'd say we look similar. We both got. I mean, hold on. No, you know what? Like, I'll prove we're not. Well, I'll prove we're not that similar because.
And we got some rips, Badger Boy. Oh my!
Oh, we got rips back,
dude. The hair.
That's my favorite part about the costume. Actually, you want to see what you're up against too. Go on YouTube and look up Cartman Conapalooza, and what you're gonna find is the lip sync battle champion vid. And during that, I take off my I'm the only person that's ever want to lip sync a costume lip sync battle by removing my costume in the middle of it.
If it works,
I was lip syncing Lady Gaga's Poker Face because,
yeah,
you know, and during the lead up to the third hook, I took off, or I'd already taken off my jacket and my gloves and everything. But during the lead up to the third hook, I took off my hat and unfurled my hair and flipped it out, and the reaction of the audience is just, oh, it's wonderful. That's why my favorite part of cons though is I'll just on the last day, I'll walk up to somebody that I've seen all weekend and go, hey, you want to see something weird?
Wow. I am so jealous of your hair right now.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to shave that damn thing, get you drunk and shave it, make it a wig.
Oh, God.
You're going to look like me.
Please don't. Oh, please don't. I like my hair. This is actually, I haven't cut my hair in almost 6 years. Every day my hair is the longest it's ever been.
Wow. That's just, wow. How hot is that damn beanie when you have it?
It's actually not the beanie, it's the jacket.
Really?
Yeah, the beanie is actually very let me see if I can. It's actually very
breathable.
You can see right through it.
Yeah, it's very breathable.
Yeah, it's very, it just smells like chicken seasoning for ramen right now for some reason. But the jacket is actually, because it's a winter jacket. It's very, I'm going to Dragon Con next weekend, and I'm terrified because that jacket is so thick.
Where's Dragon Con at this year?
Atlanta.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
Don't try to.
But I've dealt with it before. I can do it again. It's just been. It's going to be difficult, but I can power through. Especially I'm going out and making friends, and I know people that have water waiting. That's one thing. You said, do people recognize me from conventions? People will message me and ask me what conventions I'm going to, and I'll tell them, oh, next weekend I'll be here. Next weekend I'll be here, and if they're at the convention, they'll put extra waters in their cooler for me.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's one thing that keeps me going through all the downer stuff that goes on in life is I'm part of a community. A lot of people like to talk about the toxicity of the cosplay community. And I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't like. I mean, I do see it. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
like on a face-to-face level, I never see it. Like there's just everybody's so nice and everybody's so worried about like making sure that everybody's so worried about making sure that everybody else is having a good time that there's no time for toxicity on a con floor. It all comes from interpersonal drama that just like explodes or something like that.
Now, have you?
Or just somebody actually being a piece of shit like Mo.
Yeah, I was going to ask, have you ever had incidences where someone at a convention has been a total dick, and it's just like you literally, I don't want to say break character, but you have to pretty much have somebody enforce, get the hell out of here.
That's actually, all right, so one thing about me, as long as you're talking about breaking character, I have only ever broken character at a convention one time, 2 times. Because I know my costume is not that good. My costume is a jacket and a hat and gloves, and then whatever clothes I happen to be wearing underneath it, regardless of whether or not it's clothes at all.
Uh-oh.
But, yeah, risque.
Save that for the night shows.
But, yeah. But, I've only ever broken character. Once was due to an overwhelming, like I had a very like depressive down at a convention over reasons that don't bear going into. But I broke character out of pure emotion, and then the other 2 times is I was drunk. The other time was I was drunk. Yeah, it was I couldn't maintain character. I was so drunk.
Damn.
Yeah, I know my character, or I know my costume isn't good, but my character acting is impeccable. Actually, if Vincent is still in the chat, he'll tell you. I met Vincent at a convention in Covington, Virginia. No, and at Richmond Wizard World the first time I did Cartman. No, not the first time I did Cartman. It was like the 3rd or 4th time. Whatever, fuck it. I met him at a convention, Richmond Wizard World. And we met, and we recognized each other on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And then he came to a convention that I was guesting at, Con of the Mountain in Covington, and that's where we really started to like be friends and stuff. Then he said he was looking for roommates to go to MagFest with him last year, and I messaged him and was like, "Hey, I'd love to go to MagFest. Let's go to MagFest." So we went to MagFest together. The first time we'd known each other from that September to not September, July, yeah. From that July to August, September, October, November, December, January, he had never heard my real voice until I walked up to his door.
I bet you that was kind of weird.
It was. He said it was weird. I actually, a lot of my friend group is from conventions, from the local convention scene. I've been friends with some of my friends for like a year or so now at this point. And I still catch them calling me Eric sometimes.
Well, it's like when I asked you earlier, and I didn't refer to you as Eric. How are we doing this? Because I didn't want to.
Like I figure as long as I'm not at a convention, I don't care.
Fair. So if you see him at a convention, it's Eric.
You respect the character, goddammit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now, you say you've done a lot of improv. Do you have like a background in theater? Do you have a like experience like prior to this? I mean, was there?
Well, I always I was a hammy child. I was a miniature version of fucking William Shatner when I was little. I just wanted to be the center of attention, and I always kind of took to the performing aspect of stuff. Like I acted in a couple of church plays. I acted in a couple of like like church plays and whatnot, like so little stuff like that. And I don't know. I used to say I don't know why I'm so good at getting into character stuff, but I've always been that way. And like my parents have the gift of gab. Like they're constantly talking. They're constantly like it's like an Italian family.
Oh, God.
But yeah, there's constant talking all the time, and I just where I learned it from. You got to think on the fly. You got to come up with all that stuff, and I just like I don't know. It's just it's always been in my blood, I guess.
And then it's kind of evolved into this, and then the
Yeah.
the improv shows that you do. How did that
Yeah.
come about? I mean, was it just something as somebody said, "Hey, you're funny. Let's put it on stage," and
Well, the improv show, it actually started as when I first got hired at Spectrum. The head boss of Spectrum, Jesse, told me that we were guesting at one of the conventions that I attend anyway, because it's a local con. It's Star City Anime, and I told he's like, so when we guest at this, you're gonna have to do a panel because we're guesting and we want to kind of get our name out there. And I said, okay, well, let me kick around some ideas and see what I can come up with. And I came up with the idea for my panel with anime versus weeb trash, and I figured it's an anime con. It's a little bit of spoilers for my thing. It's disguised as an educational panel. It's
you'll learn something. Even if it's not right, you'll learn something.
Yeah. But it's this thing like I took a lot of inspiration from like the episode of South Park where they're talking about it's the Dookie and the urinal episode of South Park, and he has this. I think it's that episode where he has this whole presentation where he proves that Kyle was behind 9/11. And it was like this, like he's just talking out of his ass. He's not saying anything. He's not proving anything, but it's still entertaining as hell. And he's proving himself right more than anybody else.
It's the Wookiee defense.
And I was like, yeah.
It's the Wookiee defense.
Yeah, it's the Wookiee defense. If Chewbacca makes no sense, you must have quit, man. That's what it was. So I was like, yeah. That's what it was. So I came up with it's a skeleton structure for this show, for my show, that like it works so well. It flows, and then like again, bragging on myself when I don't want to.
Dude,
but
brag
I'm
on
going
me, dude.
to,
No,
fuck it.
don't be afraid to brag, dude.
No, I'm not. I don't know. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Fuck it. In the wrong hands, this wouldn't work. In the wrong hands, the system that I've come up with, the panel that I've come up with, it wouldn't work. But I've got the knowledge and the know-how and the cleverness, ironically saying the word clevers when that's not a word.
It is now, damn it.
It is now. That's the beauty of a living language, man. Yeah, I've got the wit to come up with this stuff on the fly. Like, oh man, like last year I was doing, actually earlier this year I was at the panel. This was like spur of the moment, all like just I'm in the panel and I was talking about one of the subjects that's in the panel, and these two girls were talking in the back, and I said, "Hey, yo," I'm in character at this point, obviously, and I was like, "Hey, yo, excuse me." They're like, "Did you come here to talk, or did you come here to watch my fucking panel?" And because I'm calling him out because it's funny to the rest of the audience, and they were also being kind of annoying, and also, fuck you, it's my panel. So I said, did you come here to talk, or did you come to like fucking watch my panel? Oh well, she had some little smart out comment, and I said, hey, do I come behind the Denny's where you work and slap the cocks out of your mouth? And no, her response immediately was, how did you know I worked at Denny's?
Oh.
And my immediate response is, I could smell the cocks on your breath.
Oh, why can't you be a pro wrestler? We can make such a great heel out of you. Oh my god.
Actually, I do plan on cosplaying as Mankind McFoley.
I'm speechless. Oh shit.
Look at my hair, man.
Do you have all your?
I'm gonna put on the mask.
You have all your teeth, though. It wouldn't work. Gotta knock a few of them out.
I can change.
Gotta knock a few of them out. Put one in your nose.
I can do that. And I gotta learn I gotta learn how to fall from real high places while being hit in the face with a chair.
It hurts. That shit hurts. I'll tell you. I'll tell you that later. We'll talk about that up here. That shit hurts. I got a pretty scar on the back of my head that shows that barbed wire and skin does not mix. I don't know if we can see it. I don't know if you can tell. with the headset.
Oh, I think I see it.
Yeah,
I might see it.
187 stitches inside and out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
No wonder you don't have any hair.
No, it was an utter accident. It was something.
Oh, really?
We were in a match and there's barbed wire there where I fell, got hit, landed, and a piece of it just went. And then somebody had a stop sign, and it wasn't a real one; it was a fake one. So it was kind of picture frame. I'll tell you that one in a second too. Somebody said picture frame. It tacoed, and when it did, it just grabbed my head and split it.
Oh my!
And I had no clue how bad it was till we got done and go, "You need to sit down." Why? I can see your skull. Yeah. And
good God.
Yeah, that was a scary night. Yeah. I'll tell you a picture frame later. I'm not going to do it on the air.
Please.
I'll tell you that one off air because dude waxed me with a picture frame and it wasn't supposed to break and it shattered. Like we were in the back. I'll go ahead and I'll tell it now because we were like, say this is the picture frame. Dude was a manager of the year. He had it framed and we were taking this thing and we were bending it like literally like this. Like it was folding. Okay. Well, he just walks up and just barely hits me with it, and it shatters everywhere. And everyone in that building just got dead silence because all they heard was glass shatter and me hit the floor.
Good God. Yeah, yeah well.
Mick Foley, eat your heart out.
Mick Foley, eat your heart out.
Or eat raviolis with your mask on because it's Chef Boyardee, whatever the hell that commercial was for the 90s. But now, is there anybody else that's on this panel with you, or is it just a solo?
I actually did the panel with Vincent at one point, and I'm going to pimp Vincent right now. Vincent's Instagram, very fucking good Instagram, by the way. Evil Auto Junior Cosplayer. This is his Instagram handle. And me and him, we have this awesome rapport where we're too clever for our own damn good is what it is, and we have really the same kind of the same weird sense of humor.
Oh God!
So I figured it was gonna be I invited him to guest at one of my panels to help me speak at one of the panels, and we did it together, and it was pretty good. Normally, but for the most part, I do it by myself, except for the time that me and Vincent did it together.
Now, is this one going to be solo?
And I haven't decided yet. Probably because I really want to kind of I'm not saying I want to stop doing Cartman because I love Cartman, but I kind of want to branch out and see if I'm the one that's being funny. If you know what I'm talking about.
You want to know if it's you or the character they're actually enjoying.
Yeah, and I also want to prove it to myself, because I know, I'm me and the character one and the same, that stupid kind of bullshit. But I want to know if it's. I want to prove to myself that I can be funny without the crutch of calling somebody an asshole with a slur.
Just call straight face and say, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, is there anything? I mean, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this up, man. I mean, I've had a blast. I mean, I could talk for another few hours. I could talk for a few more hours, but it's late. If anybody, it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast right now. So, and you guys listen on Bounce 107. I don't know exactly how this time frame is going to be playing into the Simon Says episode. Like I said, if you guys are watching this, you can catch this all on YouTube later at the D2 Entertainment once we. Give me about 48 hours, and I'll get some stuff up there, and we'll get it out there to where anybody can watch this at all times. Hey, let everybody know where they can find you, man. Twitter, Instagram. I'd say Snapchat, but I'm afraid with you.
Actually, funny part of my, real quick, I'm doing part of my fat shit cosplay idol stuff is I'm actually starting a Patreon soon. And one of my Patreon things is going to be an exclusive Snap. I love mocking things in general.
Explain to people what Patreon is if they don't know. I mean, I'm familiar, but some people aren't.
So Patreon is It's a. I'm trying to find.
It's a social media outlet, basically. Am I right?
It's a social media. Yeah, it's a social media outlet where people can like, if you like an artist, say like a songwriter, a sculpture person, somebody you just think is hot and you want them to send you naked pictures, you can give them a certain amount of money, like donate $1, donate $5, 10, 15, 20, whatever, however much you want, and that corresponds with different reward tiers for people, and they'll provide you with stuff specifically from them based on, you know, how much money you donate to them. And there are people that actually make livings off Patreon.
Wow.
And it's stuff like, so I'm going to start one, and I'm going to parody the shit out of the risque part of the cosplay community.
Awesome.
I'm going to be this.
I got an idea. Hold on a second.
Hey, honey, get the Speedo ready. I'm going on Patreon.
Okay.
Hey, this is my idea. Man, do you have any idea how long I've been planning a sexy Cartman photo shoot?
Oh God.
For as long as I've been doing Cartman, man, I'm gonna get garters. I'm gonna tie my shirt into a halter top and still wear the jacket and the hat.
I can so see this at your merch table.
Oh yeah, no, that's stuff we'll have to cover another time. Yeah, I'm gonna start a Patreon soon, and but one of the rewards is gonna be exclusive Snapchat. But self promotion. You can find me on Twitter at Star City Cartman, Instagram at Star City Cartman, and my Facebook page is Eric Cartman for real. And if you try to friend me on a personal level on Facebook by like tracking me down or whatever, I'll just straight up ignore you.